Going over to the business blunder of the day of Toyota dealers to brace, because, yeah, recall for the engines mean they have to replace 100,000 Tundra V6 engines, which, I don't want to say you should have made a V8, but, yeah, should have made a V8, well, and a stick shift. Go back to good old, what used to be the perfect truck, but I partially digress. This comes from thanks to Beverly, who's a writer at The Drive, which they say, quote, Toyota dealers brace to replace 100,000 Tundra V6 engines. The automaker has worked with dealerships on ways to minimize customer inconvenience and increase technician expertise, which, yeah, it's going to be rough because this isn't something like a software update where you can go in and shoot. Maybe if it can't be done over the air or, let's realistically your home Wi-Fi, well, you have to go there and they have to rip out the entire engine, which, yeah, this isn't going to be like a 5-minute software update. This is going to be days. And depending on the dealers, they might not have the infrastructure to have a loan fleet program where they have enough vehicles where they can give like a temporary loaner out to a lot of folks. I don't think most dealers don't have that type of scale. They usually have a couple and they have to rotate them pretty heavily. So you're going to be out without your vehicle for several days. And what's supposed to be the most bulletproof, reliable brand on the planet, Toyota. Apparently not in this case. Yet another reason, if I had to get a truck, well, shoot, I want a stick shift, and the only one left is the modern Tacoma. But with the good old, there are a couple issues with the last Tundra V8s, which they killed the V8s a couple years ago. But the people I know who have them love them, and they're hitting 300,000 miles plus. Those things are damn near bulletproof. There's like 1 or 2 years where it's bad, but overall, you can't beat an old Toyota V8. Now here you can see the updated Tundra, which again, that comes with the V6, which again, most truck enthusiasts will say not as good as the V8. The engine will have to work. Will have to work harder than the V8 to do the same amount of workload. Yeah, they slap on some turbos, but that's not usually best for the longevity of the vehicle. So already in the truck community, they're losing sales because a lot of trucks is a big culture, and they just want V8s because, shoot, it's one of the best platforms since the dawn of man has invented. Now, they extend saying, quote, the time is nigh for the great Toyota engine swap. Undoubtedly one of the largest and most expensive recalls in the automaker's history. Toyota dealerships are heading in December as prepared and anxious as they can be. In May, Toyota announced a recall of the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. The affected models are the 2022 and 2023 Toyota Tundra pickup trucks, as well as the Lexus LX SUVs, because, yes, of course, you have a lot of engines being used, same engine being used in multiple vehicles because decreased cost. The issue was an engine failure due to metal debris contaminating the circulating oil. The reason this debris, called swarf, which sounds like a StarCraft name, that's pretty unique. The engine debris is called swarf. Yeah, that's got to be a fun bar trivia fact of the day. But all seriousness, they say that the reason debris exists in the first place is because of internal patchages within the engine block or cylinder heads were not thoroughly cleaned during the assembly process. I was going to say, I should actually have a proper drop a pin to see if we could hear it. I don't think the mic is that great, though. But that's ridiculous. A human error caused that. Or someone didn't press the cleaning button on a machine when they put it in there. That's the most, of all the things that can go wrong, like, I understand if it's moderately common to get bad metallurgy, or because again, a lot of these things are getting some subcontractors, maybe get a batch of parts in where the metal wasn't mixed properly, the ratio of the different components, and they have a crack or imperfection because of that. But this is something we just didn't clean it right. That just seems wholesomely inept and really disappointing. It's rare to see that type of failure from Toyota. Again, this isn't something where a sub-manufacturer made a wrong part. They didn't clean it right, which, that's just ridiculous. They say the obvious fix would be to remove the engine for disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly, followed by installation. Sounds simple, but yeah, labor-intensive and time-consuming repair. So instead, they're going to replace the entire engine, which is kind of funny, but it makes sense with the cost to actually take it apart and do it properly and clean it. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. That's prohibitively expensive. As silly as it sounds, it will be cheaper just to do an entire engine swap in this case. Which, if they really want to fix it, they'd also drop the transmission and add a third pedal in there. But I know they're not going to do that and make it a stick shift. But they continue to say, quote, however, the size of the recall, 102,292 vehicles, and complexity of the repair, some 13 to 21 hours of work. Jeez Louise. 13 to 21 hours for work. So the dealers are going to be irate. Because remember, dealers actually hate recalls. They're paid, yes, by the manufacturer, but it's very much at a discount rate. They could be making a lot more money selling regular service to your vehicles and maintenance. So again, it's one of those things where it's rough all around. The consumer is inconvenienced, but they don't have to pay anything. But the parent company pays the dealerships. So they're reimbursed, but the mechanics hate it because usually the pain in the rear and paid a fraction of what they could be making others. So geez, 13 to 21 hours per unit. Ouch. Now they also noted it'll need resources needed. The technicians, the service bays, and loaner cars make this course of action equally daunting. Which, geez Louise. A single replacement engine weighs approximately 400 pounds. Toyota says the swap can be done by a single technician, but acknowledges that each store operates differently and may utilize 2 techs per repair. Some dealers agree that, inexpensive as this recall is, it does provide an opportunity for new technicians to gain experience in engine replacements early in their careers, which, yep, I mean, that is good. There's a silver lining of any situation. I always tell people, if you squint hard enough in life, you'll find, the silver lining, so to say. And that's great for those technicians. That'll be good experience. But again, this is just so bad for their reputation. And this is so much worse than subcontractor. Because again, there's between 20 to 30,000 components per vehicle these days. It's one of the most complex things you'll ever buy or own in your lifetime. And there's many instances where you have subcontractors like a Bosch component, or if you're Toyota, Denso is a popular subcontractor for them. And again, Toyota isn't making that. This is where Toyota is actually one of the few things manufacturers do make in-house is the engine and the transmission, and usually the frame and the body panels. But yeah, the fact that this was just because they weren't paying attention, basically, I mean, that is one of the most piss poor excuses for a recall. And again, people already don't like these trucks as much as they used to because it's a V6 twin turbo, it's not the V8. Because I know some friends with Tundra, their old Tundras. I mean, it's got 300,000 miles plus. They'll never sell it. It is damn near bulletproof. So I already have that working against them reputation-wise. And trucks are already hard to sell in terms of moving people from one brand to another. It's pretty difficult. It's kind of a cult following. I know guys who will buy a Chevy pickup truck just because their daddy had it, their grandpappy had it. I mean, there's a lot of people that have brand identity just built into the whole product line. So to get people to actually go to a Toyota truck, that's a big deal. And it's also important for Toyota because, again, trucks and SUVs are some of the most profitable things automakers make. There's a reason hardly any company makes a small, affordable, economical car, because you lose money on them. They're terrible, fiscally speaking. A lot of them see it as a loss leader, hoping to come back and buy an SUV later. So the fact that Toyota had a recall, not just had a recall, their recall was something that was a simple thing they could have avoided, but also the fact that it's their most profitable, important vehicle in the fleet. I gotta say, Toyota, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.